Hello, my friends, and welcome back to PlayStation Experience. I am joined by Marsh Lefler from Runic Games, and we are talking about Hob that is coming to PS4. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks.
Day 2 of PlayStation Experience. Thank you to everyone in the crowd for hanging out with us. We are talking about Hob, which is a gorgeous adventure game that I want you to give me, as you said, the elevator pitch for.
The elevator pitch.
Yes.
Hob it's an adventure action game, but it's a game that is made by our studio. It's not like a one-person vision, and
Right.
it is the culmination of everybody's loves and wants of a video game. And we have a kind of a small studio, and it basically came about as something we all just wanted in different, as a game, but nobody had ever all put it together.
Right. There wasn't a cohesion to it before.
Right, and
Yeah.
so we talked about it, and so the elevator pitch for Hob is an action-adventure game set in a world that is it's just interesting, it's alive, it's lush, it moves, it changes, and it's fun to run around, it's fun to hit monsters, it's fun to make them explode, it's fun to just see everything. And we also like really thought out games. Like the art style is like the grass, you'll notice, is kind of square, but that also goes into the trees and all the art and all the bushes, and all that is cohesive in what we're trying to tell as a story. And we wanted a story that was compelling, but we didn't feel that people could tell stories very well in games. I mean, some people do, but we don't. I should
Don't
reference
put
that.
yourself down. Come on, Mark.
But we feel like we have really good ideas, so we didn't want to have any text, but we have what we think is a really great story that we want to give to the player, and we wanted them to experience it. This is turning out to be a long elevator pitch, by the way.
No, I mean, this is a long elevator ride, 100 floors, so.
So the game has no NPCs, no dialogue. You're just thrown into the game, and you're in this lush world that is strange, it's unique, and you have to play through it to understand what's going on. And that's really compelling to us. And we, just taking a lot of things from different games and putting them together doesn't necessarily make a great game. And so along the way, we also had to come up with something very unique, a twist. Like what makes our game so unique? What makes this idea? And this idea that came forward was about this world that it's kind of broken, and it's a world that the player is going to manipulate in a very tactile way. They are going to go through it, and they're going to push things around and transform this world into the final outcome, which I don't want to give too much away, but
Don't
we actually
spoil the ending of the game right now. Everyone will be very unhappy.
We take it to the extreme.
Yeah.
And in our trailer and in our demo, we show a little bit of that, but we go full tilt on it. And we're very excited to show that to people, because right now it's just so much fun to just run around and see this world, but yet we have this other mechanic that we can't wait to show people, and it's gonna be great.
Elevator ride done, the doors open, we're out, we made it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So the one thing that I find really interesting, one of many things that you just said, was that there's no text, no NPCs in this game. It's very much a hands-off kind of show you visually the experience, which is contrasting with games that you guys made before, which I think a lot of people might recognize as the Torchlight series. You guys worked on that. Very well-loved, very action-heavy RPG with a lot of text, a lot of things to figure out, and this is a total different direction for you guys. What is that like in the studio?
After Torchlight 2, we love our action RPGs, to be honest. And
you made 2 of them already, so.
Well, we made more than that.
Well,
Runic, but, after we got done, though, we wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
And we set out to do something very different. You love something so much, but sometimes you just have to step away. And, as the studio, we don't have designers in our studio. Everybody is a designer in our studio. Everybody loves games. It's just we're a small group, and we just talk about what we want to do. And that's how this came about. I mean, it's what we all love. And it is a game made by gamers who just want a certain game that no one's really done before or has done it in a certain way.
Yeah.
So as the studio's very excited by it. They can't wait to show it, and they can't. Just having people actually play it is amazing, and just getting the feedback from people. And the people here at PlayStation Experience have been wonderful. I mean, they just get done, they're like, it's.
Is it
as a
overwhelming?
developer, that just makes you smile so
Yeah.
much, because you don't really know, because you want to love something, but you don't know if anybody else is going to like it.
Yeah.
And that's always, when you make games like Torchlight 1 and Torchlight 2, you kind of know, you kind of have that formula down, and it's all the stuff. And now we're trying to do something very handcrafted, very purposeful, everything in Torchlight 1 and 2 is randomized. But this game is completely hand done. It's everything
directed.
from the blades of grass are hand placed. Everything's very purposeful.
Jeez, man, that
Yeah.
must have taken a little while.
Yeah,
for a small
my
team.
love designers do not like me very much. So
I need you to hand place every blade of grass. What? Man, it's Saturday.
yeah, it's we have our own engine, and so they basically can go in, and it's like Legos.
Okay.
And so they have fun, but it is tedious sometimes.
Well, speaking of Legos and toys, Wonder from your team in her PlayStation blog post talked about how this world is almost like a Rubik's Cube was kind of unfolded and, broken down, and that's kind of the foundation of the world. I hope I'm quoting her correctly on that.
Yeah.
Because it was a cool quote, but I might have gotten it wrong. She's nodding her head.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into what the game really is, but yeah, if you want to take that idea of a Rubik's Cube and apply it to a game like this, where you have a world that is open and you can go and freely explore it, but you also manipulate it, take the Rubik's Cube and go crazy with it. And that's what we are going to be doing with Hob.
Just chuck that Rubik's Cube into
the world is, we show little bits here and there. I think we just probably went by on the game footage there of the world just kind of shifting around. You just have to imagine being able to have that all shifting while you're playing and changing as you run through an area and you come back to it. It can be completely different. But then we even go further than that. So anyways, next time we show the game, we'll have a lot more for that.
So then you've talked a little bit about gameplay, about world changing, about visuals. How do you guys work with audio cues and music and other things that kind of help tell a story during the absence of text?
Yeah, sound and music is so important. It's one of those things a lot of people just kind of gloss over a lot. And you can't have a good, solid hit without good sound. It's just not the particles or the flash or the reaction. It's all put together. And when you come into storytelling as well, that even matters more. It's definitely been a challenge for us to go through, and the sounds that are in the dungeons as you're going through them, and in the overworld, there's just these weird sounds that are just, you don't know what they really are, and you eventually will find out, but it's this very moody type of atmosphere that you just have to figure it all out. But the sound is so important to it because it just sets that feeling that it is this alien world. It's just not this lush, organic thing that's always reacting to you as you're walking around, but there's things going on beyond just what you can see. Yeah.
And you guys have kind of fused a very organic but also very inorganic look in the game. There's like a lot of, I want to almost say technology and there's something buried there. But I assume you can't talk too much about it, can you?
Well, we show a little bit of it, but there is definitely a tech side or mechanical side to this planet.
Yeah.
And that you're playing on. That, how it all integrates and how it all gets manipulated is definitely what the game's really about. And yeah. So.
Well, before we wrap up, what is the one most important thing you want to communicate to the future players that Hob is going to have on PS4?
For the people here, I definitely recommend playing it because the gameplay footage it looks nice and stuff, but it handles really great. And it's so much fun to get in this world, and it just interacts with you, and hitting monsters and making them explode, and just this feeling of running around and having fun doing that it's key. Like, that was when we first started this game, we actually made a proof of concept, and that was what we proved. Like, can we actually make this a fun game that's very tactile for the player, and that's probably the best thing about Hob right now is just how much it is and how intuitive it is to run around and see this world and want to know more about it, and
that physical quality of actually
very physical
playing
quality.
it. Yeah. Well, Marsh, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for bringing Hob to PS4 because it's awesome to see this game coming up.
PlayStation